Hi, Mothers and Babies directors. My name is Bushra, and today we'll be introducing two new Blue Ocean strategies in response to the issues you are experiencing. So, we understood that your key concerns were the sustainability of your non-government organisation in the near future. So, we have developed three main objectives when developing our strategy, which will work towards driving success. This included building a strategy that makes mothers and babies sustainable. Second objective was developing strategies that are aligned with mothers and babies. And the final one was to build a strategy that solves mothers and babies issues and implications. So these key success factors and objectives will be measured through key performance indicators that will determine the success of the objectives incorporated when the new Blue Ocean strategies are implemented in the future. So with these key insights, we are excited to present to you our two proposed strategies. One, partnering with Department of Education, which will educate students whilst making revenue and raising awareness. And two, partnering with vitamin companies that will assist in health of mothers and mothers-to-be pre, during, and post-pregnancy to prevent any issues from occurring to the mother or child. Now I will discuss the first idea in more detail. The first idea that we recommended is partnering with Department of Education to hold workshops for students in order to educate them while simultaneously earning revenue. The Blue Ocean strategy will be explored through the 6-path framework, while specifically focusing on path 3, which is looking across buyer groups. So this takes us back to idea 1. By partnering with the Department of Education and holding workshops for students in senior years as part of their PDHP subject, it allows them to be well educated for their future, whilst mothers and babies will raise awareness of the non-government organisation simultaneously. So it also allows them to gain extra revenue through the coming out to schools on a monthly contract, and through mothers and babies receiving revenue from partnering with schools, it will also assist in remaining sustainable in the coming year, which is also one issue they are currently experiencing due to the lack of donations they are receiving. So the educational program is also recommended, as it will cover topics regarding gut health and how to improve it, as well as what signs and symptoms to look out for, which can assist in preventing future gut issues occurring for the safety and health of mothers and their babies. So also the workshops will also target men and allow them to be more educated on matters of gut health, as nowadays men are not as aware or involved in matters like this, and this will allow them to learn at a young age, which will be beneficial for their future. So this is also recommended, as it will allow them to support and assist their partners through gaining a better understanding when it comes to gut health and how to get it right to prevent future issues from arising. These workshops will also increase awareness and educate young women as well as men on gut health in order to prepare them for future stages. This will also result in young individuals being prepared, aware, and well equipped in the future when they plan to have babies. So this takes us back to the relevant Blue Ocean strategy, specifically focusing on path 3, which looks across buyer groups that mothers and babies will take. Path 3 would enable mothers and babies to expand their target audience whilst capturing an untapped market, which can provide students with the appropriate resources in the future. By going across buyer groups and change, it allows mothers and babies to expand and increase revenue through the alternative revenue streams. It can also result in an increase in awareness of the brand and result in more open opportunities. As a result, this will assist mothers and babies to remain sustainable and assist with other concerns and issues they are facing through the increase in funds they'll be receiving from the workshops they will be holding in order to educate students.
Now I would like to present about the ideas of partnership with the Department of Education. The Blue Ocean strategy tools that I'm going to use in this presentation are 4 action framework, strategy canvas 2B, and one of the newest parts of 7 framework strategy. First of all, let's use 4 action framework to analyze the partnership with the Department of Education. This tool helps to identify the 4 key related to customer value. By using this analysis tool, it is possible to determine which should be promoted above the market, things to reduce below the market, and understand which components make mothers and baby more compared with competitors. Therefore, it is recommended that mothers and baby raise brand awareness by expanding 2 different revenue streams, which is a new way of implementing new places to high schools and universities as a start in mothers and babies approach to new strategy. And it is also recommended that mothers and baby create partnership with financial institutions as a chance to hold workshops and educate about healthcare and gut health issues to students. Thus, implementing these strategies will provide an opportunity for the organization to reduce the lack of information about gut health for the next year to be more sustainable. And the strategy canvas is also a useful tool to analyze the blue ocean strategies of the partnership with the Department of Education. This framework captures its customer value components that will create a new value curve for mothers and babies, as illustrated on the to-be canvas above. And this canvas demonstrates the long-term competitive advantage that can be achieved in the area of nonprofit organizations. Refers to part 3, not-for-profit in mothers and baby organization. It is important to create a blue ocean strategy. By looking at different customer chains, mothers and babies give new insights to students and children who are not yet aware of gut health. And it is also a chance to be able to properly acknowledge their gut health through workshops. And by creating a formal education experience, such as a forum, a course, and a webinar, mothers and babies will realize what is happening before joining the learning experiences. And it can also retain customers, which can be a powerful way to develop and assist young people through possible workshops. And as mothers and babies will be entering and looking across buyer groups and implementing this recommended blue ocean strategy, they may encounter issues. From providing information to mothers, soon to be mothers, by holding programs in school, this leaves mothers and babies to handle within their new venture due to change in market. And by entering a new market, it can result in many possible aspects. Through going across buyer groups, it also leads to better business opportunities, which in this case can allow an increase in awareness of the NGO through the workshops. And now I will discuss how we propose to implement this idea. We budget that this workshop will cost $500,000 over 6 months, and the cost will come from 3 main ideas: a formal workshop, a webinar for the forum in order to enable students to properly organize their health, marketing, and promotion costs. Regarding to the marketing strategies, we will use core digital marketing strategy. Specifically, mothers and babies website will be improved its design. And also we advise mothers and babies for advertising, including print ideas like billboards and content creation for social media. And these are the percentage instead of a numerical budget, and 500,000 funding should be allocated to each part of the strategy.
Hello, so in my part of the presentation, I'm essentially going to be talking about the benefit of creating a vitamin supplement line for mothers and babies and how that is essentially going to bring awareness to the NFP and what sort of marketing objectives that is going to focus on and help improve. So what we can see behind me is the benefit of creating a vitamin supplement line and how that's going to help mothers and babies. So essentially what it's going to do is creating a partnership with another company or prenatal vitamin supplement companies, or just vitamin companies in general for young adults and young teens. It's going to bring awareness on gut health, right? So at the moment, we can currently see that a lot of youth and younger people, so prenatal sort of stages of life, they're not really looking into gut health because they're not aware of it. So being able to sort of partner up with these sort of vitamin supplement brands, creating gummies, capsules, whatever the sort, can entice customers because it's already an established company, established customer base, and it also saves costs in sort of manufacturing because there's no need to purchase or rent the machinery. And also these companies, what they can do is they can essentially host walk for events, which is really, really common nowadays, and it's really popular amongst the youth. So it's what mothers and babies can do is they can partner up, and through social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, all of the sort, they can hold walk for events, which are sponsored by the vitamin company, sorry. And through that, raise awareness through social media platforms, possibly create a hashtag, hashtag walk for gut health, or something a little bit more, I don't know, enticing, because that doesn't sound too enticing. And also through being able to post these sorts of posts like for the walk for events and the hashtags and creating the vitamin supplement line, through marketing that on social media sites like TikTok and Instagram, these platforms for businesses, they give you a free show of who your reach is, who is seeing your posts, who is tracking these, who's liking these things, who's interested in this sort of stuff, which is a free way for mothers and babies to see who their reach is and who they should be targeting and marketing their efforts towards. And then that also follows up on the next slide. It's easier to market products to younger people through platforms like Instagram and TikTok, as this is essentially a really big part of today's generation. You're not going to be getting that through like a newspaper, magazine. It is possible, but it's not as common. Marketing is cheaper this way as well. As I mentioned in my previous slide, Instagram and TikTok both give free consensus on essentially who is your market reach. So that's essentially your biggest demographics, so like age, gender, geographically, where are your posts reaching to. So essentially, yes, they can start in Australia, but let's say if their efforts and their marketing is going towards other countries like America, Canada, some parts of Europe, then they can start, once they generate enough profit and commission off of the vitamin supplement line, they are able to expand and hopefully move forward into other countries. Marketing is cheaper as paid advertising is not crucial. And through the selling efforts of the supplements, this commission can be used to fund the research and the NFP overall. On the next part of that, the benefits it has to mothers' babies. So what marketing objectives are we essentially reaching by putting in place the vitamin supplement line? So we are solving the marketing objective of unable to identify reach. So once we are distributing the product of the vitamin supplement onto stores, store shelves or online, I feel that the easiest way to distribute the product is most probably online, because it is a cheaper alternative, and all you'd be paying for is storage, and you wouldn't have to pay that commission to chemists and other sort of stores. Being able to identify reach online, you can see who your demographic is. No long-term funding. So as we know that there is no long-term funding for mothers' babies at the moment, and creating this vitamin supplement line will create a consistent profit margin in the hopes that it turns out successfully and it can be marketed appropriately and very well, and it's done effectively. The no long-term funding is a marketing objective that can be sold. Authenticity to brand. This is also another thing. So Red Cross, Royal Women's Hospital, and the Gut Foundation, they don't have this sort of product offering. So they're not offering something that can essentially help sort the issue, which is something mothers and babies can take into account. This creates authenticity, sets them apart. It's a blue ocean strategy that's like, it's going to help them in a way, make them stand out. And it shows that that mothers and babies have taken that initiative, that extra step to move forward and provide their consumers and clientele with something that is going to be effective and can help them with for the future when they look to have their own children. So when looking at budgeting, when we're talking about budgeting for the supplement line, for the budgeting allocation, I believe that 30% should be put into marketing promotions. So this involves, yes, it is the cheapest way to do online, but I do think a lot of this also includes paid advertising. So Instagram and TikTok, they do have the option to pay to have the advertisement put in between people watching stories or on the Explore page. I think that's a really good way for mothers and babies to really get their reach out there, because just simply creating an Instagram page, it's going to take a lot of work and a lot longer to get that exposure out there. Packaging, I feel like packaging is the most enticing and important part of a product, but it doesn't need to have most of the budget allocated for that. I believe most of it should be going towards distribution and marketing promotion. Manufacturing is also really important. We want to be sure that we are using quality and top of the line ingredients in order to create a quality supplement that is actually going to be effective and help with gut health. And then we're looking at the Gantt chart above me, the Gantt chart above me. This is essentially how we're going to go about in creating the product line. So this is from start to finish, how we're going to go about it, from development brief to post-launch support. So each period equates for 30 days. Yes, it is a bit of a lengthy process, but I do believe time is money, but if done effectively, over time, it's going to create more of a profit for mothers and babies. So development brief should take quite a long period of time to sort of establish what exactly we're going to be creating, how much how many products are we going to be releasing? Is it going to be just the one supplement for gut health, or are we going to have like a 2-in-1, or is there going to be a range that they can be bought in like a pack? How are we going to go about that? And then we also have designing and developing, obviously the trial and error process, making sure that everything's working okay, the ingredients are working well, it's not causing clashes, testing, all that sort of stuff. And then also quite a bit of time is going to go into redeveloping. Packaging, there's going to be quite a bit of time spent on packaging, even though the budgets are a little bit lower on that end. The actual start of it, we're doing trial and error and make sure there's quite it's appealing packaging. Obviously, since we are appealing to a younger clientele, we don't want to be using sort of like bland coloring. Obviously, color is the best way to bring about that sort of stuff. And then releasing it to stores and websites. And then we also want to make sure that marketing, that hype is there. So we want to start the marketing before the release, just a little bit before the release, just to generate that hype prior to dropping the product. And then once it's released, we can get some feedback off of customers. So that can be done through like sort of an NPS scoring system. So anybody who purchases the product, they'll receive an email or a text message or anything like that, just saying, how did you feel about the service? How do you feel about the product? But I don't think it should be released straight away. Maybe like a follow-up email, only because obviously the clientele would need a bit of time just to see how the vitamin line is working. And then after that, we have the post-launch support. So obviously keeping up tabs on the reach, how sales are going, just sort of room for improvement. And that is my part of the presentation. Thank you for listening and take care.
Good morning. Throughout the course of working with our clients, MothersBabies, we have considered multiple aspects about their overall objectives and worked on a full situation analysis, and ultimately produced multiple recommendations that were derived from MothersBabies' self-identified setbacks and limitations. A major solution that we have obtained from our extensive research is the key opportunity of partnerships, working with vitamin companies and products in Australia. This will be in conjunction with our second approach of partnering with educational institutions to create increased awareness and educate young women on gut health. This will therefore work to create a forked approach to raise awareness of MothersBabies, gut health, and resources such as vitamins. MothersBabies has an opportunity to increase customer awareness about their organisation, as well as tying into their own brand values and missions through working with vitamin companies and products centered around the concepts of women trying to conceive, prenatal healthcare, and post-childbirth. Vitamins are largely beneficial, as because of the wide variety of uses of vitamins involved in pregnancy and gut health, MothersBabies can largely increase education and awareness of parents, and ultimately tap into the blue ocean strategy of entering into a new markets and partnering with external institutions and companies. Within our focus on partnering with vitamin companies and products, both vitamin focused on gut health as well as pregnancy and women's health, we are proposing multiple ideas to implement, leading to beneficial impacts for MothersBabies. One major advantage of partnering with vitamin companies, as highlighted in Figure 1, includes boosting awareness, expanding, and sharing resources for mutual benefits, adding additional expertise, and expanding customer reach. Vitamin companies in Australia, such as Blackmores, are extremely popular with the Australian population. As shown in Figure 2, Blackmores, according to research from Nutra Ingredients, is the vitamin choice for 10% of the Australian population. Similarly, Roy Morgan research shows that more than 50% of Australian women take vitamins. The takeaway from this information is that the vitamin industry in Australia is extremely large and has a wide opportunity for MothersBabies to partner with pregnancy-related vitamin companies and well-known brands across Australia. Ultimately, this strategy will overcome implementation issues, including a potentially unfamiliar markets, financials. As shown in Figure 1 of our marketing plan, we have designated 25% of MothersBabies' budget allocation into partnerships with vitamin companies, and to implement blue ocean marketing strategies, such as opening up a new marketing channel to increase education, profits, and ultimately brand awareness of and for Mothers Babies.